Less than 2 weeks remain before Brazil is likely to impose a 20% tariff on all fuel ethanol imports from the U.S. As speculation builds, a bipartisan House coalition joins the effort to restore fair trade with the South American country. Renewable Fuels Association President and CEO Jeff Cooper joins us now with the very latest. Good morning, Jeff. Welcome to the Market Day Report. Would you please speak to the building of the consensus to prevent Brazil from doubling down on its ethanol trade policies?
Well, I'm happy to, John, and thanks for having me. And we're actually 1 week away now from that big deadline that Brazil is facing regarding what to do with its ethanol trade policy. Brazil currently allows 200 million gallons of U.S. ethanol to come into that country tariff-free, but then any volume above that quota pays a 20% tariff. Now, that tariff-free quota expires a week from today on August 31st, and there's growing concern based on what we're hearing that Brazil is then going to try to apply that 20% tariff to all U.S. ethanol imports, and that would be disastrous for our trading relationship with Brazil and lead to a loss in export demand in that market. So, yes, we were very pleased when last week 20 members of the House, bipartisan group of lawmakers sent a letter to Ambassador Lighthizer asking him to address this issue very quickly and ensure that this issue is resolved in a way that benefits both the U.S. and Brazil.
Jeff, what implications might this new tariff have on the entire industry then?
Well, Brazil has been our largest export market for ethanol the last several years. We've seen as much as 500 million gallons of ethanol shipped to that market. But because of this tariff rate quota that they've put in place and the 20% over quota tariff, we've seen reductions in our exports to Brazil. And if they apply this 20% tariff on all gallons, we expect to see a dramatic collapse in demand from Brazil at a time when our industry can hardly afford losing more demand. So it could be very devastating for the industry, which is why even the president himself has taken notice of this issue and is pushing the Brazilians to do the right thing here and just do away with their tariff altogether, get back to that free trade relationship we had with each other from 2012 to 2017.
So what's the next step then?
Well, the next step is, we are hopeful that that Ambassador Lighthizer and other negotiators representing our government are having active conversations, productive conversations with their counterparts in Brazil. We're expecting to hear some sort of decision from the Brazilians within the week, certainly by this point next week. And then, we'll react accordingly. President Trump himself has said if the Brazilians go forward and put this tariff on our ethanol, we may have no choice but to respond in kind. And, we import a fair amount of ethanol from Brazil. So we might have to look at, taking some measures to put reciprocal tariffs on that product.
Well, Jeff, thanks a lot for getting us up to date on all of this. Renewable Fuels Association President and CEO Jeff Cooper joining us here on the Market Day Report.